Okay, so hello everyone. Today I wanted to show you some tips and tricks and what you need to know before you start playing Crawl. Crawl is a pretty difficult game, so I got on a brand new, fresh account, nothing on it, just the starter items, and I wanted to prove to you that you can solo, it's not too hard. So I'm just going to equip all of my gear, looking good, and then in a moment, I'm about to start a dungeon just so I can show to you what you can do to make it easier and get better time, and then get the loot. So let's create a dungeon here. We'll put Cataclysm because that's just a free item. I'm gonna put private just so no one joins by accident. And then let's create it, and then let's get started. So this is Volcanic Mines, and it's pretty difficult when you first start, but here I'm going to show you how to do it. Okay, so the first room is going to have 4 mobs, 2 melee and 2 mages. Now, for most of the rooms with the mobs, you're just going to try and circle as much as you can. Don't swivel back and forth with the mages because that is going to hurt you. I'm going to show you right now. Yeah, you'll still get hurt. So just make sure with the mages that you keep a pretty big circle. Sometimes you're going to have to get closer. Just don't make any sharp turns and you should be fine. Take care of this last guy really quick. There we go. Okay, so this room introduces punishers and chain demons. The punishers are very fast and will, when attacked, they will create a big area of effect and they will launch you. Now that that's out of the way, we have the chain demons. If you get close to them, they'll create an area of effect, and if you get inside it while they damage you, then you will get trapped and stunned for a moment. Alright, let me just clear this room really quick, and we'll show you the boss. Alright, this is the first boss. I think it's called the Lava Sentry, but I've never looked at the name. So the first attack you'll do is to create a burning area in a line. And then he does that pulsing grid attack, and while he does that, he'll summon a circle and then a cross on you. So it's a little much to follow, but this cycle will repeat a couple times. Some of the passive things include another burning area of effect that follows your movement. So the tip for this one is you just want to try and keep your distance. You don't want to get too close, and you want to try and spare as much room as you can. What I mean by that is, like, once an attack is over and it is no longer damaging, you can move back to the save space in order to not get trapped at the side. So that's another tip. Don't get trapped at the side. You want to try and stay as close to the middle as possible. So as you can see, as I'm doing, I am trying to take every opportunity that I can get to the middle. Now, what you don't want to do is stand in the middle of 2 attacks because that will stack a lot of damage. So just try and minimize the damage to minimize your deaths. I managed to do this boss without a death, which was pretty lucky. So just make sure that when playing, you try to minimize your deaths, and you want to try and take every opportunity to create space for the player to move around. Alright, let's fast forward so we can get this boss done, and we can show you the second boss. Alright, okay, so I lied. There are 2 more rooms before you get to the second boss. These rooms aren't too difficult. You have a decent amount of space to move around. Okay, so that was my first death. I want to preface that in this game, you will die a lot. So that's something you're going to have to get used to. Alright, let's clear these rooms and we'll show you the second boss. Alright, I just reset so I can get to the boss a little quicker. Here is the second boss, the Sulfur Guardian. I think that's his name. Okay, so first thing you'll do is throw out his weapon and then run to the area of effect and create lava. Then he will start spinning and move around the map. Once he's done, he will summon an after image on you, and then he will basically shred you to pieces if in that yellow area of effect. This cycle will repeat several times. So for this boss, it's basically you have two pretty good opportunities to hit him. So when he summons on you, the after image and the rapid fire attack, uh, that is one opportunity he'll hit you. And then the second opportunity comes when he is going to throw his weapon at you and run to the area of effect. So this boss isn't too hard. Just make sure that, as the last boss, you don't get trapped at the side. Try and stay towards the center as much as you can. And this boss shouldn't be too difficult if you follow the tips I show you. Let's get this boss done and we'll get to the last boss. There are 2 more rooms after this boss to the last boss. Alright, we're done with the second boss. Now let's get these rooms cleared to get to the final boss. Alright, here is the last boss, the Rock Serpent. Probably one of the harder bosses, but once you learn how to get used to it, it's not that bad. Okay, so the first attack he does is he spawns a bunch of bombs. Then he shoots out an array of lasers, and then he shoots lasers into the ground, bringing up rocks. You will need to stand on those rocks in order to not take damage, because he will raise lava from the floor. Then the last attack he does is he will summon little lava knights, and they will shoot crescents at you. This cycle will repeat several times. So for this boss, you're going to want to try and get as close as you can to him, preferably in that little lava pit, as you can see. I am standing in it and I'm not taking damage. You will be fine down there. So that's a pretty good spot to chill, because the array of lasers won't hit you, and you still have an opportunity to get onto the rocks. I want to preface, though, that you can still die because of the lava raising. You need to be careful. You need to keep your eye out for the red lasers. Those will show you where rocks will spawn. Here, I gave up because, yeah, I got pretty bad luck right there. Alright, so for this boss, just keep near the boss. You want to stay as close to the boss as you can, because, yeah, this array of lasers attack will be brutal if you try and get somewhat close. So just take the opportunity to get close, find a good opportunity to get close, and this is a good way to defeat the dungeon. Alright, let's just get the last bits of health down, and we will complete the dungeon. So this isn't a hard dungeon. There are a lot of people in the game who I chat with, and they complain that it's too hard to solo. Now, that's the thing. It is not too hard to solo. As you can see, I just soloed, and I have 5 minutes left. And I got 2 guardian items. That's pretty nice. So yeah, it is actually not impossible. Okay, so how about we go over each enemy and their specific attacks now. So you have the melee enemies. They will walk up to you. They will melee you when they get close enough. Then you have the mages. They will shoot fireballs. Now, it's important to preface that you cannot swivel, as you will be caught in the fireball. So make sure you just keep a wide distance from them, and don't go back and forth a lot. Just keep going in one direction, even if you have to circle around them quite a bit, and you'll be fine. Then you have the Punisher. They are rather fast, and they will walk up to you, smash the ground with a hammer, and if you get caught in their area of effect, you will be launched in a specific direction. You'll be launched in out of the way. Yeah, there's the words. And then the last normal enemy for the Volcanic Mines dungeon is the Chained Demon. They are a pretty slow enemy. They don't really walk all that much. What they will do is that if you get really close to them, they will start summoning. There we go. They will start summoning areas of effects. If you get caught in these areas of effects, they will chain you and you will be stunned for a moment. You'll be stuck. You cannot move. This is something you generally want to avoid because then you'll be able to get stacked by the enemies. Those are the basics of Volcanic Mines. Now let's move on to Ancient Shrine.